Hello, my darlings. It's Eleanor. For those who don't know me, Eleanor O'Brien. I'm the artistic director of Dance Naked Creative. And for the last 20 years, I have been making theater about sexuality with the intention to illuminate through storytelling. It's year 20, and I decided I want to do a new show. I want to do a show that calls on my history, but it also evolves my mind and my experience forward. So I am going to share with you the announcement of a show called Igniting Desire. And the reason I called it Igniting Desire is because this concept that I first heard articulated through my teacher, Kimberly Ann Johnson. I'm actually just about to start a book club based on her book, Call of the Wild. She's had a lot of influence on me. And one of the things she talks about is the need to stalk your desire, to stalk your arousal, in a way that as a younger woman with a different hormone cocktail, I didn't necessarily need to do. It came unbidden. And it's weird when you've been a horny person as long as you can remember, well, since I was at least 13, to not suddenly, but become a less horny person and less what's the word? It's where like it's maybe harder to come or the orgasms aren't as intense. Apparently, this is a side effect of perimenopause. Some people say that if you take hormones, particularly testosterone, it kickstarts your libido right back up again. But I really enjoy being in the body that I was given. I like the idea of experimenting with finding desire, finding arousal, finding spark, and drawing it into my life through a pleasure practice. And one of the pleasure practices I get to do is create a show about this very topic and work with other women and play with other women and draw in material that tells new stories, opens up new pathways, not just for me, but for my audience. So I am collecting stories. This is a call for submissions, and I'm also going to host auditions. I am going to cast a ensemble of 6 to 8 women to perform these pieces. And we're going to do a staged reading of it. And we're doing a staged reading because that is so much easier than doing a fully realized show. I like the idea of not making myself crazy. So I get all the benefit of creating a show, the juiciness, but without all the stress of being memorized and having the right costumes and props. One of the beautiful things about Fertile Ground is that it is a place for new works. So you get to try out things and you get to have works in progress. And I am not great with works in progress. For the last 20 years, I feel like I have presented fully realized shows and almost killed myself in the process. So this time, I'm doing a little something different, and I'm having it be a staged reading. So that means scripts in hand, right? And it just takes away so much of the stress of having to memorize. And so in terms of auditions, I wanted to provide 2 opportunities. One, for the people auditioning to pick their own material, to show up either with something they've written or they've found that they resonate with. But I also don't want to make that a burden that keeps people from auditioning. So I'm also going to provide some examples of the kind of material they could read. They could use this piece, for example. I have been looking for the right pieces to use to ask people to audition with or offer as a possibility. I was scrolling Facebook and I came across a post that stopped me in my tracks. And this post was a description of lovemaking. And it was by an influencer whose work I follow very closely. This woman's name is Tanya Diamond. And she posts all kinds of interesting things every day, from nutrition to tantra to how cellular membranes work. She's a very smart woman, and I really appreciate her mind. And she has recently fallen in love. The man she's fallen in love with is somewhat younger, but it's not a barrier for them. And it's just a beautiful thing to see her having this love affair with this wonderful man. Her erotica was really inspiring because it felt very visceral, and it made me melt. It made me just say, yes, I would like more of that, please. This is one idea of a piece that might make its way into igniting desire.